Hi, I'm here. I'm going to show you how to repair your helix on your driven clutch instead of replace. I've already got it apart. This is off of a 500 Ranger. I can show you how I pull it apart real quick. It's very basic. You've got a spring that goes in the middle, and you want to pay attention to which notch your spring's set in. There's 1, 2, and 3. This one was set into 2. Your helix. Here's the helix. It's also got holes on it. This one was set to 2, so 2 to 2. You push it on, line it up, and basically it's sitting on there, held on by, you've got a washer and a snap ring. Very, very basic. Pop the snap ring, the clutch will come apart, you disassemble it. Now I'm just basically going to show you how to resurface the helix. I've got 2 sides done. These 2 sides, I basically just filed them down with a hand file. 3rd side, you can see it's grooved. You can fix this at least once instead of replacing it every time. So, sorry for the quality. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So basically, take a hand file and you can file it down until it's smooth, which does not take much. Okay, you kind of get the picture. See how it's just filing right away. It's not taking a whole lot of effort. I'm not pushing too hard. Sorry for the background noise too. The shop's active, so that's the door going up and down. Okay, got the grooves out of it mostly. I'm going to do this one spot here a little bit more. Just light pressure, you don't want to overdo it. Any metal hand file will work, flat file that is. Okay. Now I've got the grooves out of it. Next thing you want to do, see no more grooves on either side here. Try to get the glare off. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is get some sandpaper and sand down the edges. Okay, so just a regular piece of little 200 grit or whatever, and sand it down until it's nice and smooth. That's what you're looking for, is just a smooth surface. Knock out some of your file markings. Sorry, next time I'll videotape this with a GoPro instead of my iPhone. Make it a lot less shaky. I'm holding the phone with one hand and sanding down with the other. And you get the idea. That'll save you money on replacing this piece. If it's too grooved up, too badly damaged, then I suggest replacing it. It's not too expensive. It's around $70 for this helix, but why spend $70 if you can resurface it? So this is just one of my many tech tips I have for repair instead of replace. Have any questions? Let me know. Back again. Now we got Busch Beer for our sponsor for the evening. And we're gonna get started working. Hey, I'm back again. Got my sponsor for the evening. Good old Busch Beer. Nothing beats it. And I'm going to get ready started on installing or finishing the repair on my helix and replacing the buttons that this ramps on. And I'm also going to show you how this all goes back together. Since I skipped the disassembly of it, really this assembly is just the opposite order. So really in your back clutch, you do have some washers that are inside. So make sure that these stay in if you have any on your driven clutch. This is for a 500 Ranger, right around an 02, 03. So I've got these new buttons to install where these are worn, and I'm going to get on that real quick. Now if this helix rubs on those too far, it'll rub the head of these bolts off, and sometimes you'll have to replace your whole clutch, which is not cheap. Nobody wants to do that. And this is a T20 Torx bit. We're going to reuse these bolts. I'm going to have to chip this away a little bit to get that out of there. Got the bolts, the little T20 Torx bit screws out of the old buttons. Just took a screwdriver and scraped it away a little bit, and all the bolts slid out. Take your new ones, drop them in. And they can only go in one way. You know, the curve of the metal there. There's no real reason to put Loctite on these. You can if you want to. I've done hundreds of these and never had any issues not putting Loctite in. And main thing too, don't over tighten them. You just snug them up, and then that's all you need to do. If you over tighten them, you can snap the bolts off or strip out the threads in your clutch. Just something you definitely don't want to do. I always start them all by hand. You don't want to start them all with your ratchet. You never get a good feel. Okay, now those are installed and snugged up. Okay, so I've got all my buttons in, and now I'm ready to assemble it. Drop her down on, line your spring up. My spring was set, see there's the three dots. My spring was at 2 and 2, so put my other end of the spring on the hole number 2, just like so. Now you line your double splines up with your helix to the one on your sheave, which I'm right there. What I do is I get it pushed down a little bit, okay, and then you have to preload your clutch. So grab the top part and move it one whole section over. Okay, and then I just take a little rubber mallet, tap it down until you're far enough. Okay, drop your spacer on, set the snap ring up there. And doing this one-handed isn't, I mean, if you had a second person, it does make it easier. But snap ring on, and that's it. Put your tension on it. Your clutch is reassembled. The main purpose I was doing to make this video is to show you that you can reuse this helix a lot of times. You don't always have to buy this part new, and it'll save you money and time. You don't have to order it. You don't have to go to the dealership to buy it. And it's probably a $75 part, and there you go. You can do it yourself, and your driven clutch will be good as new. Torque spec on this bolt, 17 foot-pounds, in case you were wondering. And then on your drive clutch, it's 40 foot-pounds for the bolt. So there you have it. There's your driven clutch rebuild without replacement. The end.